poetry. We'll see how wonderful it is. This is called ink therapy. I chalk up the first one to a prolonged night of drinking. I chalk up the second one to having something to prove. I chalk up the third one to all the exes and one-offs who all had the nerve to scar me emotionally, mar me completely, drove me to drinking, and maybe even rethinking my philosophy to the point where I am not only listening to physical graffiti, but I'm wearing it forever. Woo! Tattoos on my skin, but never on my soul. Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing except the ink and the waiting chair and the sleeved doctor who for a mere $300 can make me feel a little less like an arrested child and more alert and alive than any placating shrink ever possibly could. This is called Pool on the Roof. Plastic swimming pool, plastic flamingos perched, plastic palm trees swaying, enabling everyday people to fantasize for an afternoon about exotic beaches, endless horizons, boundless energy, oldies radio stations, cold soft drinks waiting, gooey suntan lotion, and that last perfect weekend before the rent got so hiked up beyond affordability and we got much older waiting for the summer to help us bloom again. This piece is based on a painting by an artist named Helena Rose. She made this painting called Wisdom of a Year, and it was a woman's headdress. It was her face, and then the entire headdress had all the 4 different seasons in it. And for whatever reason, it inspired this poem that has nothing to do with that. This is called Wisdom of a Year. January's frigid, stinging winds pushed us along the tundra. New minds eager to learn, new bodies limber and ready, spirits determined to conquer the New Year's journey or perish. February's lingering snowfalls made our lumbering travels perilous. Steadfast, we continued onwards, continually learning new tricks, discussing rampant rumors of an impending spring approaching. March brought the great thaw and the glacial snows retreated. Animals revealed plants to us. Both fed us well along the way. We settled in down by the river in a great green valley of hope. April brought the torrential rains and we huddled together in caves. Fire was the key to survival. We now no longer feared the night. We even rigorously mapped the valley and welcomed several stray visitors. May brought the flowers out and lush, inviting colors blossomed. Birds sang. Bees made sweet honey while we made our children. The valley was teeming and alive, and we as a tribe were thriving. June's warm breezes brought longer days and active nights. We took the ancient forest and made homes for our families. We used anything and everything, and the animals soon became wary. July brought on our old enemies, other intruding nomadic tribes. They ambushed our sleeping village. We retaliated back for blood. We used anything and everything and trained the animals to attack. August brought the humidity, and we fortified ourselves in tight. We made lethal weapons for defense and set deadly traps in the forest. The trained animals turned on us, and we had to kill them outright. September brought the battles, and the armies continually clashed. Bountiful crops were destroyed. Untended children were mutilated. The invaders were finally repelled because we merely knew the land better. October brought death to our tribe from rampant disease and starvation. Mass graves were filled to the brim, and the village was burned down. We returned to the same caves and grew wary of our desolate valley. November brought the snows, and we all agreed now to move on. Steadfast, we journeyed outwards, relying on old tricks to survive, discussing rampant rumors of another green valley within reach. December was the great desert crossing, and then we found a fertile jungle. We discovered a vast village and a thriving riverbank tribe. We fashioned canoes and settled far, far downstream. This is called Not Quite Miles Davis. The damn kid was pouring sweat, hands slamming the keyboard with conviction, with emotion, with passion, with God knew what else he had. The teenagers yelped in approval. The children danced with abandon. The elderly crossed their arms, secretly yearning for Miles Davis. The kid was singing his heart out, despite the steady rain, despite the disappearing crowd, despite the empty money tin. The song climaxed on a dime. The crowd cheered in awe. We then turned and left satisfied. No one bought his CDs. No one took his card. No one shook his hand. A few dimes plopped into the tin. He closed his eyes and smiled. I folded a 10 spot and dropped it into the tin and walked away. I didn't even catch his name. Somehow that made it magical, ethereal, supernatural, pure. A snapshot of a perfect moment lodged in my memory warehouse for all time. This last one is called Until at Last Ends. I want nothing to do with you. That is until that song comes on. When that song plays, I'm yours. We sway to the music helplessly, the way old people sometimes sway on the melody of a treasured memory. Ella belts it out like she means it and then reels us all back in with honey. We two are drawn to each other, like hummingbirds to nature's nectar. Our bodies entwined tightly like birds effortlessly floating on the air, dancing along without hesitation. Has my love come along at last? In this perfect moment, I don't care. But hold me close, dear stranger, for though the spell is cast sweetly, nothing right lasts forever, and the song, like our time together, is all too short and then forgotten. Thank you. Woo.